Hey everyone, Jake here for American Muscle, and in this video we're taking a look at the BMR front and rear performance version lowering springs in red, fitting 2016 and newer V8 Camaros. Whether you're after improved handling, a nice low stance, or a little bit of both, BMR's performance lowering springs have you covered. These are an affordable, high-quality lowering spring setup that will drop the overall height of your car and provide you with a marked improvement in handling as well. All right, let's start out with the thing that you all really want to know. These springs are going to drop your Camaro about 3/4 of an inch in the front and about 1 inch in the rear. So you're going to get a pretty significant drop overall. And that lower stance just makes the Camaro look extra mean. It's just about perfect in my opinion. Not too low that you can't use the car, but the wheel gap is minimal with these installed and the car just frankly looks right. But lowering the ride height with new springs also brings some handling benefits. Now these are linear springs, as you can see, meaning that they have one spring rate rather than two that progressive springs have. But that just makes them a little more predictable and a little more stiff. Now swapping out your stock units for lowering springs does mean that your car will ride a bit more stiff than stock. While it's not punishing at all in this case, and these are designed to work well with your stock dampers, just know that going in. But lowering the car and having stiffer springs also means an improvement in handling. These are going to help quell some body roll and allow the car to feel more planted mid-corner and more responsive on turn-in. Now the Alpha platform on which the Camaro is based is already really well sorted when it comes to cornering and handling dynamics. And these springs are just going to help take things a step further due to their overall stiffness and the fact that they do physically lower the car's center of gravity. Now again, these are designed to work with your stock shock absorbers both front and rear, so if you can't or don't want to change your shocks out at this time, these will work just fine with what you have on there, provided of course that they are in good shape. And if they aren't in good shape or you do want to make an improvement or an upgrade to your shocks, check out our site too, because we've got a bunch of different options for this generation of Camaro. When it comes to construction though, these are really solid. In fact, I was very impressed when I started looking into these. They aren't slapped together, given a coat of pretty paint, and sent on their way. BMR takes the manufacturing process quite seriously. The springs are made from chrome silicon high tensile strength spring wire that is cold wound on a CNC rolling machine. Being cold wound means that the metal isn't heated up and subsequently weakened in the process, so that's a good thing. They're then shot peened and stress relieved at 750 degrees Fahrenheit, and they're compressed not once, but twice in the factory. All of that means that any stress that's in the metal from the winding process is eliminated before they're finished and sent out the door. And the compression gives them a final set, so they're uniform in height, and they guarantee that there's no sag. Every spring is also computer tested before leaving the factory to ensure everything is measured correctly, that it's safe, and it's ready to go. And of course, as you can see, they come finished in that bright red powder coat to protect against rust and corrosion. The finish is nice enough that it's really a shame you won't be able to see them once everything is on the car, especially since you're eliminating that wheel gap. One other nicety too with these is that they're made right here in the USA, which is something we don't find all that often. Pricing for the set comes in at about $300, and that makes these one of the most affordable in the category. It's a really good price considering all the research and development baked in here, and the quality does kind of speak for itself. So if you want a high quality setup for not a lot of money, these are going to be your answer. Installation gets a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around 4 hours to complete. While the rears are going to pop right in place of your stock springs, the fronts will require you to have a spring compressor on hand, and you'll need to disassemble the front struts in order to get them fitted. So make sure you've got that tool on hand and that you're familiar with using it before diving in. All that said though, let's head out to the shop and we'll walk you through that entire process step by step.
For this install, you need a 1/2 inch and 3/8 impact, 3/8 ratchet, 3/8 extension, a 24, 18, 15, 15 swivel, 13, and 10mm socket, a pry bar, a 21mm wrench, 18mm wrench, clip removal tool, small pick tool, a bungee cord, and also not shown be a lift, a pull jack, and a spring compressor. All right, today we're going to be putting some lowering springs on a Camaro. First, we're going to watch a quick video how to install a stock system, then we're going to come back here to install the new one.
So our first step is going to be to remove our brake line and ABS line from the bracket that is on the strut itself. So we'll go ahead and grab our 10mm socket on our ratchet and run this 10mm bolt off. Go ahead and take that out. Make sure that is separated. Then we can go ahead and screw this right back in so we know where it's at. Then we can go ahead and pop this clip off of here for our ABS line. We'll go ahead and grab our clip removal tool and pop that off. And pop that off. Make sure that's free. Next, we can go ahead and remove our sway bar end link from our strut mount. And to do that, we'll grab an 18mm socket and extension on our impact. Go ahead and pop this off. Go ahead and pull that back out of the way. Then we'll go ahead and put that nut right back on our end link just so we don't lose track of it. Next, we can go ahead and remove the nuts from our mounting bolts here from our knuckle to our strut. So to do that, we're going to grab our 24mm socket on our impact and a 21mm wrench. Go ahead and run these off. That one out. So you may have to switch out to your air-powered impact, which we're doing right now. Go ahead and get these off. All right. So now we've got the vehicle lowered down a bit, and we've got a floor jack underneath our lower control arm here, right on our lower ball joint. That's just going to help support our lower pieces of our suspension once we release this from the strut mount and everything is kind of swinging on its own. So now we'll go ahead and remove the two bolts holding our knuckle and our strut together. We'll kind of release the tension here. Pop these out. And once you have that out, your knuckle should swing free. Now you want to make sure your brake line and your ABS line don't get caught up on anything. And you don't just want to let this fall right out. Go ahead and grab a bungee cord or something like that. So you can hook in through here. And that's just going to prevent everything from swinging too much and putting excess tension on your lower ball joint or your brake line and ABS line. And now our strut is free, so we can go ahead and remove the upper mounting nuts and get this out. So now we can come into our engine bay here to our strut tower and remove the three 13mm bolts holding our factory strut in place. So we'll grab our 13mm socket on our impact and go ahead and loose these up, while at the same time we're going to reach into our wheel well and support our strut so that we can grab it when it comes free. So as you remove your last one, you want to support your strut. And as that one is unbolted, we can now remove our strut from the vehicle. So now to get our strut out, what we're going to do is drop this down enough to get our top hat and top of the strut out of the wheel well. And we're going to fish it out this way. Now once you have this out for this side, you can go ahead and repeat these same steps for the other side. So for the rear, we're going to need to remove this lower plastic cover here on our spring bucket / lower control arm in order to access the hardware we need to. So we've got our clip removal tool, and we're going to remove the 4 clips holding this in place first. We can just go ahead and set that aside for now. So now we have a pole jack under our lower control arm. This is going to help support our lower suspension once we remove the components when we need to. And we're going to start with our sway bar end link here. So we're going to remove this bolt using our 15mm swivel socket and extension on our impact. And it may need to put a little bit of tension on your sway bar in order to get this bolt all the way out. Go ahead and pop that out. So next we're going to go ahead and remove our lower shock mounting bolt. So we'll grab our 18mm socket on our impact. Go ahead and get that off. We can use our pole jack to kind of relieve the stress on here so we don't mess up our threads on the way out. Go ahead and pop that out. Alrighty guys, now that we have our shock out, it's time to go ahead and get this spring out. So what we're going to do is we have our pole jack underneath our lower control arm here, and we're going to remove this outer mounting bolt to our knuckle. So we'll grab our 15 mil socket and extension on our impact for the front side here. And then we have a 15 millimeter wrench for the nut directly on the back side. And we'll go ahead and run this out. Go ahead and pop that bolt out. Then we can go ahead and lower our pull jack here. That's going to give us the clearance to remove our spring. Go ahead and pull down on this. We can pop our spring out of its perch here. Go ahead and remove that. We can pop our isolators out as well.
All right, now that we got our front strut out, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the spring compressor, decompress our spring so we can swap over to our new one. All right, first what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this cap off. We're just gonna use a pick or a small flathead screwdriver. Just pop that off. All right, now that we got our factory strut out, we got it set up on our spring compressor. We're gonna compress our spring, release tension, then grab our impact and 18 millimeter socket and take our top nut off. All right, now we're going to assemble our strut with our new spring. Since the spring is a lot shorter, we don't need a spring compressor. You can just push down a little bit. So we're going to get our spring, put it on our strut, get our boot, slide that over, our top mount, and then our 18 millimeter nut. Just drop that in, get our impact and socket. All right, just push down slightly and tighten that down. All right, now you're gonna do the same process for the other strut. All right, now we're gonna get our strut into place. We're gonna put the bottom of our strut through behind our knuckle first, and then we'll go up top and reinstall our 3 13 millimeter bolts that we took out. All right, now we're gonna lift our strut up and get it aligned with our bolts. You also have your 2 rubber alignment pins there. All right, we'll grab our impact and 13 millimeter socket and tighten them down. All right, now we're gonna get our knuckle back into our strut. So we're gonna take our bungee cord off. Push our knuckle back into our strut. If you need to, lift up a little bit. All right, now we're gonna get the bottom one in first. Might be hard to see. Put our bolt through. And then our top one, right on our nuts. And we're gonna grab our impact with our 24 millimeter socket and then a 21 millimeter wrench and tighten them down. All right, now we're gonna get our sway bar link into place, reinstall our nut, and then we'll secure our brake line bracket with our 10 millimeter bolt and then reinstall our clip. All right, we'll grab our impact, extension, and 18 millimeter socket and tighten that down. Get our bracket back in place. Grab our ratchet and 10 millimeter socket, tighten that down. And then just push our clip back into place. All right, now you just repeat those same steps on the other side. All right, now we're gonna come back to the rear and get our new spring installed. We're gonna get our top mount, put that over our spring. Make sure to line up the end here. Then we can install it into our lower control arm. All right, now we're gonna pull down on the lower control arm and get our spring into place. Just make sure you line up the bottom spring with the bottom mount. You can feel where the end spring will go. All right, now we have our pull jack under our lower control arm so we can get our lower control arm bolt into place. Then jack it up and line up our bushing. You may need to use a pry bar just to get everything lined up. Thread your nut on the back side. All right, grab your impact with your 15mm socket and an 18mm wrench on the back, tighten it down. All right, next we can get our lower shock mount into place. Just jack it up a little bit, and get our bolt. Grab our impact and 18mm socket and tighten that down. All right, now we're gonna get our sway bar link back into place. Grab our bolt, just pull down a little bit and get it started. Then we're going to grab our impact with our 15mm swivel and tighten that down. All right, now we're going to get our plastic cover for our lower control arm on and reinstall our 4 push clips. All right, now you can repeat those same steps for the other side. All right, and that wraps up our install of our BMR front and rear lowering springs performance version, colored red, for our 2016 and newer V8 Camaro. And remember, for everything Camaro, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.